Sorry, I had to slow the dogs down barking and prove to them nobody was at the door. I am probably going to use my Lazy Susan and spin it out a little bit. Now, I decided to make this project for my son. And though he's sleeping, he may end up popping in on me. So I have some leftover paint, and I do need to thin it down a little bit. So off to the side here, I'm going to add just a little bit of water to thin it down. And it's blackened water, which is fine. This is where I was soaking my my brushes. And I'm just going to thin it down a little bit. I'm going to do it over my Lazy Susan. And if you can see that I have it prepared here on just a cheap picnic tablecloth that I just picked up here at HAB. And I'm just going to pour over a thin layer of paint. And with adding a little bit of flow, it's going to just be an extender. And this is just so my paint will flow. And I'm just going to pour it over as a thin. What I'll probably do is just put it here and just let it guide down some. So I don't have to brush completely. You can see what I'm doing, just so it just goes down so I don't have to constantly. If I need to add some extra, that's fine. I got my new torch. I figured it would come with some fuel, but I guess it didn't. So one of my goals today is to go get some fuel. I used to have a big torch, and with me moving here to Texas, I had to give it away. So I decided this time I'm just gonna go and I'm just gonna spread it. And this is just so that the paint that I do on top will just float over it. It just still seems like it's a little thick yet. You guys know me for scrapbooking and ornaments and everything else, but my pure passion my entire life has been painting. And if people that knew me growing up knew that I was a painter. But you guys have known me for painting ornaments. But I have been dying to get back to my painting for so many years. And with retiring, I finally get to go back on the canvas. And even though I did a damp cloth across, it's still soaking it up. And of course, because we have no moisture in the hair right now, even though it's supposed to rain tonight. Like if I'd have been in Florida. But again, this is just to go get the paint flowing. And this is why I just pre-prepped the edges with some paint so that there was no white spots on the side. And I'm used to having dirty hands. I gave up on nails last year, and you guys know me for my pretty nails. Yep, I kind of gave up on it. At least for now. And you guys can see that it is. And it'll self-level out afterwards, so I'm not real worried about it. So I do have some of my paints with silicone in it and some of them not, so that I can get some cells. I do not have all of them with it. But I was pretty excited if you saw my first video that Folk Art came out with Color Shift. And I did not mix all of them in bottles yet. I'm gonna order some more bottles. And I do have a vast variety of paints already in my craft room, but I didn't want any of my paints with some of the older chunks in it. I'll have to filter it. So I'm just gonna leave those in those bottles. I'm gonna stick this off to the side here. So I decided, because he likes Space and Odyssey, that I was just going to do that. But what I'm going to do is I don't want to lift it quite yet up on the spinner. I don't want to mix, I don't want to put it on my spinner until the end, because I just want to leave it as is and just put my stuff, because I do have it up on big thumbtacks. So I thought, well, I'm going to have a little fun. I need to put it in, I need a cup. Let me go get a cup. And you're going to see me do some epoxy projects. So let me grab my cup. So there's a cup of 34. This is a small canvas. And I'm an abstract artist by heart, but I do realistic. I do like to draw more realistic. So let's start. I think I'll do gold at the bottom, and that is because it should pop up underneath all of this. So the gold is just brushed antique gold. It's a brushed metal gold. So we're just going to cover the bottom of that. And I thinned it out enough so it should stay heavy at the bottom. And we'll leave the lid off. And then let's go with, oh, the color shift. Let's go with, let me look behind me because we're looking at Galaxy. The Cobalt. I have to think about separating my lids. Let's go with Cobalt, and it's staying on top. So let me pick this through, you guys can see. I'll put my big ones over. A little yellow, which is moon yellow. Let's stick some white in there. And again, that is, I have to look at the name of that white, but it is, I know the name of the white. I'll think of it. I'll think of it. It's the white everybody uses. A little green apple orchard. Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. Please forgive me for this because I am epileptic and I have like shaken baby syndrome. And then I have True Burgundy. Oh. I'm trying to think of what would be actually on planets. And then I'm going to go back to the white just a little bit. And then go back. And I don't want to do too much of that. I'm going to go back to the black. Let me go get the names of that. I don't know why. I can't think of it. So I don't know if my tongue, because I got half gallons on it. I wanted black as you could possibly get. I'm not a big white person, but I wanted to make sure I could do lacing. Now I'm going to go back with the gold, because I keep thinking about moon rings. And then I do want to come in with the color shift on Blue Flash. This stuff is amazing. And then back with Plum Flash. And I don't want to go into any more colors. I'm going to stick to that. I don't want to do too much of this. I'm going to stay with that. I'm going to go back to, I did that. I'm going to go back to the Cobalt. A little bit of white again. Back to the yellow. That's why I'm not doing a whole lot. Back to the burgundy. Because it's staying right on top. Back to just a little bit of the dragon. Because it's so close to the other one. A little bit of that green. And I think I'm gonna stop at that because this is small canvas. And then definitely want to put all the lids back on because it's a lot of paint. That's probably way more than what I definitely need. I believe all the lids pretty much will match. Put the lids on. That's a lot of paint. Put the lids on. When I get all this stuff out of my way, making sure I have all the lids on. I'm going to put them all behind me. Yeah, I'm rearranging. If you're on my craft page on Facebook, you would know that my life has been a little bit chaotic. And for those here on YouTube, I am sorry if you're not catching up with me. I am finally put down my paintbrush in the house. It took me a year. I've been now in the house a year. Though I bought the house a year ago, doesn't mean I've been in the house for a year. So things are progressing in the house, but I've been living a year. I'll be in the house almost a year. But yeah, it's been pretty nutso. And I now have a dog with a collapsing trachea, and she's slowly dying in a weird freaking way. And if I choose, I have my blow dryer here if I want to blow it out. So I'm gonna keep my black close to me because I might have to, so my paint's all here, so you guys can see it. I'm afraid I might muddy it up just a little bit. And I might cross it. I'm gonna cross the paint just a little bit. Just a little crossover. So I'm gonna stick this over just a sec. And of course I get my hands always muddy up, which is fine. I have my paint clothes on. No need for an apron for me because I have literally paint clothes from doing my house. So I brought up my Lazy Susan. I got this beautiful big Lazy Susan over at Home Goods. I feel bad because it's like beautiful wood. Oh, Lily, move. And then poor little Rosie, if you guys keep up with me, she got bad and she almost died on me because of gallbladder. She had to have a gallbladder out. It's supposed to be the size of a dime, and she's a little chihuahua. And that thing was humongous, and they ended up giving it to me, which was creepy. Okay, so let's see if I can pull you guys up. Trying to pull you guys up as much as I can because I'm still using my old light fixture here thing. And yeah, it's not exactly good. And I just saw there's something in my paint. Let's get that out. Okay. We're gonna stick it up here. Now I could galaxy out on, could use that. If they start to bark, I'll pause if they get too bad. But I think I'll just go this way. Muddy out from here. much extra paint just wiggled around. It's all gonna come off anyway. Matter of fact, let me put some paper towels. Of course, I'm ready for that. Put some paper towels down and yeah, I can always wipe it off. So we'll start tilting it a little bit. Down that way. Down that way. My cells are already popping up. Oh, look how beautiful it is. See if I can get some of this pretty color here and stick it over here. There's that pretty red over here. Almost makes me feel like I should get another canvas and put it over here and pick it up. That's beautiful. I'm not going to, so I'm going to wipe up some of this. I have my trash can on standby over here. It kills me of wasting all this paint. I'm going to wipe some of this up so before I start spinning it, it don't fly everywhere. I just want to spin it just a little bit. I'm going to move this paint over here. My elbow's probably going to hit it. That color shift, I can already see the shine on it. It's going to dry out beautiful because in a couple days when I show the dry version of this, because see, I even like the muck at the bottom. See, I'm not going to touch that underneath because I'm going to use that to make sure the edges are good. Now I have the dryer here. I have my heat gun out in the garage because my husband keeps stealing it. You can see the cells popping up. So I want to spin it just a little bit. See if it'll spin just a little bit out. See if it makes a little bit of difference. Because I wanted that red to come out a little bit. Like down at that corner a little bit where I put that little bit on. Wow, that's pretty. That color shift definitely showed through. That dragon popped in a little bit. That came out beautiful. My son's gonna love this. And the cells around the edges. See if you guys can see that. See if I can zoom in here. see if I can put, yeah, you guys can see the cells. This is just beautiful. It's a perfect manly picture. I think it came out beautiful. Perfect for my son. I'm gonna make sure I get it down over these edges. I'm just gonna continuously drip in. I'm just gonna make sure the edges are clear. I'm gonna take my, ooh, look how pretty that is. All these pretty colors at the edge. It's a shame to waste it. The cells are popping. Just beautiful. It's like butterflies to me. I'm gonna put my hair dryer on. See if you guys can see this. Pull you up a little closer. And I'm gonna stay back a little bit. It's a hair dryer specific I got for it. Well, geez, I just seem to be popular. Interrupted me. So that was Lowe's on me. Okay, so if you can see here, now I have got my blow dryer on. And I don't want to mush it around, so let's see if I can take my piece out, because I'm not blowing it, per se. I just want to put my heat on it and see if I can, because I don't have my heat gun out. And I just want to put my heat on and see if I can turn the heat on. Okay, so why is it not turning on? Love this. Probably should have tested that theory. I think the top one doesn't like me. Okay, should get my heat gun. Really, I guess it's breaker pop. Lovely. Oh, now it's working. Okay. See if I can get more to pop up. Oh, there we go. We got more cells coming up. Can you see them? And I'm going far away. More cells to pop up. You can't really hear me so much. one's gone. I want to make this super duper cool for my son. So I think he'd like really, really like this cell. No more heat. So that came out super cool. Let me take you off the stand so you guys have seen this. So we'll let this dry. All these little cells popping up. So it's kind of like a Milky Way for him. Super cool. And even the cells that drain down over the side. And then I have to just keep checking it. I think he'll definitely like it. Look at the colors that came in on the side. Now, not sure if you can see the gold. But I think it came out really cool for him. But I think my son would be pretty proud of this to put on his wall. Alexa, turn off kitchen. Okay, maybe it's too much light. Alexa, turn on kitchen. Maybe it's the bar lights. Alexa, turn off bar lights. And that took off some of the reflection. I can't get it all off. So project number 2 is now in the bag for you guys to see. And when it's dry, I will show you, and then I'll have to wait for a couple weeks for me to put epoxy on it and turn it to a glass finish. So I'm pretty sure he'll love this. So now I have to go put it up to where it should dry pretty well for him. So it's like one of his video games, like Fall Out Boy versus like, see if I can turn it around so we can see it a little better in some other angles. Fall Out Boy versus one of his other hardcore games. So tell me what you think. Again, it's going to continuously drip. I just keep taking it off the bottom. Again, every so often you've got to come back out. Make sure you get the drips on the side so that when you put it on the wall, you don't have these. Still pretty colors coming off, isn't it? Look at that. Look at those cells, they're just beautiful. 3D panoramic. Inside the cup's still pretty kind of cool. It reminds me of Fall Out Boy, so I'm going to call this one Fall Out Boy. Destruction of Fall Out Boy in the beginning. My Fall Out Boy painting, how about that? Fitting name. So if you guys know Fall Out Boy, what do you think? Call this one Fall Out Boy. And tell me which way it should go. Should it go this way on the wall? This way on the wall? That way? See, that's like a sun. It's cool. So let me know what you think.